Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Nah, there's no way you're talking to me. Hi, everybody. I'm Darth Paradigm, and I'm going to show you a saber that I think most of you have been waiting for me to finally do a review on. This is the HighBorn. This came from the Patch store. So this hilt clocks in at 12 and an eighth inches long, and it's sort of a golden Silcatano-esque hybrid of I don't know. It's kind of an odd creation, but it immediately was attractive to me, and so I bought it. It comes with the Asteria 2.5 soundboard, which I'm going to show you how to access right now. You just remove the pommel. You have to actually hold the grip when you're removing the pommel. And I'll show you the pommel first, close up. So, there we go. So that's what the pommel looks like, all close up, all shiny. Very well made, very heavy, solid piece. And this is the little whatever you want to call it, the point where you grab the Asteria and just try to pull it out to the best of your ability. And you can see that you have the 18650 lithium-ion battery that came with the saber, and there's the soundboard, and you have access to your micro SD card with all the sound fonts on it. Now, I've added some sound fonts to this saber. The sound fonts that come equipped on this thing, the source material for the sound fonts is good. However, for some reason, Ultimate Works, I think, who makes this hilt, they definitely make the Asteria 2.5 soundboard. Has the sound fonts that come installed on here are kind of dumbed down, and they don't sound very good. The swings don't sound very good. So I've taken it upon myself to take a few sound fonts. I've taken some Golden Harvest version 3 sound fonts, or at least one. Cyber Assassin, and I've put a couple CFX sound fonts on here. I believe I put the second and another one called Heretic, and there may be a couple others, but I can't remember what exactly I put on here. Now, those sound fonts perform much better than what comes on here. So I would recommend if you have the time to learn how to install the sound fonts on here. It's not really that difficult. It just involves moving some files around, renaming a few things, and dealing with the blade profiles. So there is a bit of a learning curve, but it does make for a much more enjoyable experience if you have sound fonts that perform well and utilize the soundboard that's equipped on your saber. So enough of that. I'm going to swap out the battery for a new battery, one that has been charged up. So I'm getting in there and I'm just sort of lifting out the battery with a hex wrench here. I'm trying to make sure that I don't make any contact with any metal to the best of my ability. They don't give you much room to work in here. And we have positive is on that side, negative is on that side. So you always want to make sure that you put your batteries in properly so as to not destroy the board. I won't beat you over the head with that lesson. So once you have that all figured out, so when you insert this, the actual top of the soundboard is going to align with pretty much the gold top of the hilt. So you're going to slide this in, and it's going to pop into place, and then you can replace your pommel. And it also unscrews here as well, so that's why you're kind of holding it here when you're doing the pommel. Otherwise, this starts to come undone. And all that does is expose wires that you don't really need to expose. So now that you have everything in here, you have to figure out which switch has now become your on switch. Alright, so that's your on switch. It's going to use the boot from the last sound font that you use as the indicator that's powered up. And then you use the same switch to turn it on. And then the other switch is your auxiliary. So you just tap it for your blaster deflect. You hold it and hit the blade to get your lock up. And I don't have this particular sound font set up for the tip drag, nor do I have the LEDs set up for a 32-inch blade. On this board, it's still set to a 36-inch for some reason. I can't get. I haven't gone there and adjusted that yet. But as far as clashes go, of course, it is smooth swing. And to turn the saber off.
Power off.
Turn on. Turn off.
Power off.
And that's pretty much it as far as the functionality of the saber. Other than changing fonts, which I will show you in another part of the video. We'll get to that part. So, in order to remove the blade, you have to remove, I can't remember because they're identical. You just basically have to remove one of the plates, and it accesses a couple screws on one side, and then there's a screw on either side. So actually, I think it's just one screw up here, and then there's a screw on the sides. So there's 3 screws holding the blade in place. The blade depth is probably about to there, so it's a nice deep blade depth. And a 32-inch blade works really well in here, and 36 is a bit long, as you know. And everyone that watches my channel kind of knows my preferences regarding the blades. The edges here, they're a bit on the sharp side. Not too bad here. Once you get to here, it gets a little sharp, and that sharpness kind of continues all through this part there. So I don't know, it's really the only thing that's sharp on there, but it's something to be aware of. Some people may have more delicate hands. That's not to me meant to be a slight against you, but you might want to consider wearing gloves. But for the most part, it's very, very mild, and you know, this is a pretty comfortable hilt, single and two-handed. I find the only thing that there's a bit of a hindrance is when you're swinging this. This will kind of dig into your forearms a little bit. So just be aware of that. So there's some sharp angles on here. I'll give you some. I'll give you some really, really good close-up shots of this after I've done the font demo and whatnot. But you can see you've got a couple greeblies right here. These I don't think they come off. They may be screw off, but they don't really do anything. Get your bunny ears, and you get some windows.
Unpredictable.
So overall, for the price, it's a wonderful hilt. The only thing that I might like to see on this thing would be a CoverTech wheel. For some reason, they don't have a CoverTech wheel on here. You could possibly, because this is threaded here, you could probably get yourself a nice little D-ring to insert into there. That would probably work out pretty nice. They would give you the option to purchase one, I don't think, on the Patch Store's website, but Look at that. That might be something I would invest in because D-rings don't really bother me. They do clink around and tend to bother some people, but that's not an issue for me. Yeah, that's the HighBorn in a nutshell. Very solid piece. I do have an issue with looseness of one of these screws. There's like a screw here and a screw here. I don't know. There's like a threading issue, but for the most part, everything is pretty solid. Not too much in the way of rattling around. When you take off one or both of these plates, the bunny ears do tend to be a little bit loose. You can hear this one's a bit on the loose side, so that's just something to be aware of. But for the price point for this hilt, there's really not too much that you can expect. It's technically a budget hilt, but it's a higher end budget hilt. And like I said, once you put some decent sound fonts on here, this thing really does perform well. I think I did a full demo with probably just like Second Sister or a sound font like that. So you can look for that video. Actually, I'll put the link to that into my description. But I'm just going to show you what is on here for sound fonts.
Power off.
Oh, and it shuts off on its own. Now for changing the sound fonts, you just push down on the auxiliary button. If you aim the hilt down, I believe it goes through the fonts in a descending manner. If you aim the hilt up, it goes through the fonts in an ascending manner. So this is Heretic. This is the second of the fonts that I have installed on this.
Jedi, like my father before me.
So this is Hoth. This is the first of the sound fonts that come pre-installed on the Saber. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is the soundboard does tend to freeze when you're going through the sound fonts. It'll only go to a certain point and then it won't go past. It's just a kind of a glitch that's been happening with mine. There are some instances when you're going through the sound fonts and the board will freeze, and then after a while it'll reset and go back to the original sound font, which is the one you just heard. Now it's Hoth, but I haven't set the green.
I am no Jedi.
Ahsoka. Don't ask me why it's on yellow. I did not set it to yellow, but I find that font performs very strangely, and at some point I'm going to install my own Ahsoka font on here. Probably I can't remember if it was K-Seth or Kyberphonics that made the one from The Mandalorian, but that might be what I put on here. Because I just don't like the way that one performs. Can't remember what this one's called. This is not meant to be a comprehensive demonstration. This is just showing you basically what's available.
You will never fought anyone like me. I am Raven.
Now this sound font performs all right, but again, it's one that I'm looking to replace.
You have no idea what I'm capable of. You are sealing the galaxy's fate. You have have a stomach to kill anyone. Don't raise your hand to me again. Turn and run. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I will see you break.
So there is some gesture controls on here. I haven't fully programmed any of the gesture controls, but with Rev and basically thrusting forward gives you quotes. But with most of the other sound fonts,
I'll show you the dark side.
this is obviously Kylo Ren. You can actually activate the saber by thrusting forward and deactivating it. See, these pre-installed fonts, they perform very strangely. They don't have the subtlety of a CFX font.
I have come to kill you.
This Darth Maul font, to me, is one of the weakest on the board. Does have a nice ignition. I like that.
We'll handle this.
This is their version of Qui-Gon. Why it's set to blue, I don't know. I previously had it set to green, and I had Hoth set to blue. Whatever you can do. I think every time you swap out the battery, it kind of confuses the board a little bit. I think this is the worst font that comes on this thing. It just doesn't sound like Qui-Gon to me. Alright.
This party's over.
Nice. Ah, set to the proper color. Nice. Not too bad.
Hello there.
Obi-Wan?
Let negotiations begin.
You see that strange blade effect. It's kind of a Camino rain effect.
Arcane.
And it's arcane. This one's nice. That's good accent swings.
I am the Senate.
This one's bad. I think this is the Boba Fett Slave 1 font. This should be the last one.
color, switch 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 color, switch